start cutting firewood for the greenhouse. So like I said before in an earlier video, this is kind of the beginning for greenhouse season next year. Very important part of our season though, because we use about a pickup load a week in the fern house, and that's really the only greenhouse that we burn wood in, but we go through a lot of it. It's kind of a substitute heat, but works very well for us. But when we start the job of cutting firewood in the season, that means getting the chainsaw ready, and the first thing that anybody that's cut firewood knows, you need a sharp chain. So that's what I'll do here first before I head back on the hill and start cutting. And sharpening a saw is not as difficult as it might seem. I use an electric Craftsman chain sharpener, and it has lines on it that kind of keep you on your right angles, but basically you just need to keep the right angle. And with the electric sharpener, the most important thing is not to apply too much pressure. I'm of the belief that if you get that tooth too hot, that will change the molecular structure in that steel and take away some of the hardness. And a lot of the guys that cut timber and use chainsaws every day will sharpen with the hand sharpeners. That's not electric, and they're much better with them. I'm not that good. I've done it this way for years and it's worked for me, but I don't apply too much pressure, and don't get that tooth too hot when you're sharpening. You don't have to take off a whole lot. If you stay on top of it, you can just kind of keep them tuned up. This is what a lot of people will call a raker. It's actually a depth gauge. This depth gauge, as you sharpen this tooth and it angles downward, then that is taking less wood out. So you have to actually take these depth gauge out every so often as well. I'll usually, after I sharpen this 2 or 3 times, I'll take a file and go across that depth gauge a couple strokes there per gauge, and that will keep your teeth cutting good. That's just a couple little tips on getting the chainsaw ready. The only way you can get good at sharpening a chain is start sharpening them. Save you a lot of money. But that's just one thing that we're doing here this morning. I'm going to get ready here and we'll do a little video on cutting the firewood. So